Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Today I want to talk to you guys about the best strategy for achieving financial freedom, right? Especially in America. So before I begin that, I want to mention that I have a free school community. It's a like-minded group of men. We share ideas, we share things that have helped us, some things that we struggle with, some things that we've overcame, right? And I also have 2 free courses in there, one on accelerating your finances and one on the 4 steps to better health. So those are some things, in those courses I don't really dive too much into depth here on YouTube. So if that sounds like you, if that sounds like something you're interested in, click the link down below. Anyways, going back to our topic, achieving financial freedom in America, I'm gonna give you guys a strategy that I think a single guy can use that can enable him to retire early or not have to work a job that's super demanding, right, for the rest of your life. So listen, some of you guys, or some guys, don't want to go overseas, right, and live minimalistically, in these countries like Colombia and Philippines, right? Totally understandable. Maybe you got family here, maybe you have friends here, or maybe you just, you like where you live. You just think you just know, like, hey, it's just expensive, right? Just like pretty much everywhere in America. I think, and listen, this is what I'm going to do, right? I think you should do this or consider this. I don't want to tell you what to do, right? It's just an idea. Let's say you get a down payment on a house, right? And most people say, don't buy a house, right? It has its pros and cons. So I'm not here to argue for buying or not buying a house. But listen, you buy a house, right? And let's say you pay off the mortgage, right? You get a simple condo, right? And you aim to pay off that mortgage in 5 years, right? You would think to yourself, like, how the hell can I do this, right? Because maybe you're paying off like, maybe $200,000 or something like that, or a little bit more than that. How can you do that, right? Well, and why would you want to? Well, let's explain the why, and then we'll explain the how. So why would you want to do that? Well, okay, let's say you pay off your condo, right? Okay, you're gonna have your HOA fee, right? Which is about, for me, every 3 months, it's about $1,600, right? Okay, then I got utilities, then I have cable and light, right? So I have utilities, cable, light, and then obviously, gas and food, right? Things like that. I don't have a car payment. I paid my car off. I don't think that's a bad idea, right? Especially if you're single, because if you do the math, right, you basically go from having to live on, $40,000 or between $30,000 and $40,000 a year down to like between $10,000 and $15,000 a year, right? Imagine, right, if you only had to live on $10,000 a year, right? Now this doesn't really work if you have like kids or a family or whatever, right? I mean, you can if your girlfriend works, right, or your wife works, but if you're a single guy, right, this strategy might work. You only have to live on $10,000 a month. Dude, you can work any job. You can work part-time, right? And you could be free for the most part. Or you can do Uber, right? You can work jobs that don't require you to have to do so much, right? Like, this is good for guys who want to be like internet dudes, right? Like, who want to be entrepreneurs, or who want to be like content creators, right? Because most content creators, right? If you're a content creator, okay, let's face it, you don't want to be a tradesman. You don't want to go to school, right? So a lot of times, right, like, the jobs that you work are just to keep a roof over your head, right, while you build your thing on the side. So let's say, hey, you live on, $10,000 or $15,000 a year, right? Let's say you work security or Uber and you make $30,000 a year, right? Or you make, or 35 or 40, right? That's kind of like the norm for these types of like jobs. Okay, you're able to save like $20,000, $30,000 right there and then. So you're able to live cheaply, work jobs that are not that difficult, right? That don't require a degree or a skill, right? Which, is good in some sense. And then you have the rest of your time to invest into assets or invest into your business, right? So yeah, you still might have to work, right? Maybe you work part-time, or maybe you just do Uber, but at the end of the day, you have your freedom and you have your time, right? And you don't have a freaking mortgage, right? You don't have to have constant stress about every month not having enough money, right? Because you wiped it out, you paid it off, right? Now, some people will say, oh, don't pay it off because, you know, you could use it as a rental property and everything. Yes, okay, but we're talking about peace of mind, and we're talking about, you know, just not having to worry about certain things, right? Yes, it's great to have investment properties. I'm not denying that. But at the end of the day, I think it's also good to have peace of mind and have the freedom, right, to choose what kind of work you want to do. Like, if you don't want to work a full-time job, you want to work 3 or 4 days, you have the ability to do that. If you want to just do Uber, you have the ability to do that, because you only have to make $15,000 a year, right? $20,000 a year. So, you know, I mean, like I said, and again, you might not want to do that, but how would you go about that, right? Because you might be asking me like, damn, okay, that sounds cool, or that sounds like something that I might be interested in, but like, how do I actually go about that? Well, what I've done kind of unknowingly over the past 5 years, right, since really like 2020, is I've been accumulating crypto, right, over, you know, whatever. I've just been buying at random points, not super aggressively, but just slowly over the past 5 years, been slowly putting money in. And, you know, over the past 4 years, well, I'm sorry, 3 years, because 2021 was kind of the end of the bull cycle. So let's just say 3 years. I've been just working, you know, 60-hour weeks, you know, and just putting extra money in, because, you know, I have a good amount in there. But basically, with the amount I have in there in this bull cycle coming, if I'm lucky, right, and like I said, only God knows how the market will play out, because you never know. If I'm lucky, you know, over the next 9 months, right, because it's about to be March, I will be able to take out a large sum of that and possibly pay off my mortgage, right? And I'm really looking forward to that, because, you know, if I can do that, right, and just not have to worry so much about like having to make so much money from a job, right, I can spend more time focused on content creation, on you know, whatever I choose to do via the internet, right? So I think it's a good idea, and I think it's something to consider. Right now, it's not easy, because you still got to put up the work, put in the work up front. But you're gonna have to work for anything, right? And you know what? 30 years. Think about it, right? Most amortization is a, you know, 15-year fixed mortgage or 30-year fixed mortgage, right? So you're looking at a long time of payments, right? And again, not everyone wants to have a fucking monthly payment for the rest of their lives, right? 30 years is pretty much till you're retired, right? Because most people don't buy houses until they're in their late 20s or 30s. So if you can pay that off, right, by the age, maybe let's just say 30, right, at the latest, right? You say you buy a house at like 23, 22, 23, you take 7 or 8 years, you work up 2 jobs, or you start making money part-time with your internet business, you accumulate some assets, right? You pay that shit off. Guess what? Now you're living cheaply, right? In a first world country, in America, right? So everyone else is complaining about how they have to work so much and how their payments are crazy. You're over here, you know, free as a bee, right? You're free, and you don't have to be succumbed to, okay, not only the psychological stress of like having to worry about not having enough money at the end of the month, but not having to, I think one of the biggest things is like not having to take shit from employers, right? Like, you can get up and go wherever you want. If you want to work a job for 3 months and you decide you don't like it, you can quit. You know, if your boss gets lippy with you, you tell him, I'm out, bye. You know, you become the power holder in life, right? Because you have the money, right? They say money is power. Yes, it is, because, you know, you're not controlled by money. Your life doesn't, your decisions aren't dictated by a lack of fucking money, right? Like, how, I just can't believe, sometimes I think to myself, like, it's crazy that, like, humans have to make decisions just based off a fucking piece of paper, right? But at the end of the day, right, you know, I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea, right? So, I mean, like I said, yes, you might have to work hard up front to get it done, but once you get that done, right, you can easily scale down to working a part-time job, right? Easily, 3-4 days, right? You know, maybe you work 6-hour shifts, or maybe you work 8 hours, but you know, you're not working a traditional 9 to 5, right? You're choosing the job that you want to work, right? And you have more time to spend doing what you want to do, going on hikes, working out, right? Sleeping. You know, most of us don't freaking sleep, right? Because we got to be up so early to work. So like I said, if you're looking for a strategy in America, right? I think that's not a bad idea. And like I said, yes, you will have to work somewhat hard up front. But again, it's worth it. And you know, nothing good worth having is not gonna take some hard work up front. So I thought I'd share this with you, and I think that it might be something to consider. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, you like the video, let me know in the comments, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.